Country. Welcome to another episode of Let Us Be Heard.
What's up, Moose fam? Calling back here for another episode of Let Us Be Heard. Joined again, of course, by my friend and co-host, Dale Hubley. Dale, how you doing, bud?
Hey, Colin, how's it going tonight, man?
Not too bad. I'm itching to get downstairs and watch our Mooseheads take on Acadie Bathurst Titan. We've been winless out of the last 12 matchings with them, so I'm really hoping we can pull out the win. First game I've missed at the Scotiabank Center in a long time. It's just too much time at the arena this week. Had to take one day off. What about you?
I'm looking forward to tonight's interview. We've got from St. John's, Newfoundland, former Mooseheads goalie Roger Kennedy.
That's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Anytime we get a goalie on, I mean, it's not like they're better or worse than our players. It's just it's different, right? They're just a different breed, and you only get 2 a year, right? So it's always special. And I think you like goalies too, don't you?
I love goalies. Yeah, kind of indicated by behind me.
We can't tell from what's behind you now.
Yeah, well, Roger was a good guy. He did a lot of community work when he was with the Mooseheads, so the fans and the community really took to him. So really looking forward to what Roger has to say tonight.
Right on. Well, Moose Country, welcome back, Mr. Roger Kennedy. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. And yourself?
Good, man. Listen, happy to have you on. Thanks for making the time for us here. Is this the first time you've reminisced on a podcast since your time with the Herd?
Oh, for sure. It's actually probably the first time I've ever been on a podcast ever.
Hey!
So
I'm happy to be your first, man.
Yeah, I've never done this before. I've done interviews, of course, like back in the day, or like just business or work interviews, but like, yeah, I've never been on a podcast or in this new age, podcast, YouTube type channels, stuff. So it's neat.
Well, I'm glad to be the one to have you on our channel and be able to reminisce about the greatest team in the CHL.
Definitely up there, that's for sure.
That's right. So tell me, you were drafted in 2004 to Halifax Mooseheads. What's it like for a young kid from the Rock? Probably was never off the island, or if you were right back to it. What was it like coming to Halifax, away from home and playing for a team so far away?
It was a little different for me, I feel, just because of like being from Newfoundland at that time. When I was drafted, I didn't even know what the CHL really was. I was just told these are the bigger teams. And I always thought, like, you play Atom, you play Bantam, you just go to the next level. I was like, I guess this is the next level. When I showed up, I quickly realized it was a much bigger organization. It was a business. It was true fans. It was a big deal. So shock, a little bit of like wow type factor really hit in quick. And I was really young. I mean, I showed up at 15 years old at training camp. So it was a big learning curve. But it's a great atmosphere. It's a great place to play. So it was nothing but good things, but it was fun. That's for sure.
So let me ask you about training camp. Did you only spend the one training camp with us and then you were on the team, or did you have to come back the following year?
So because in Newfoundland, my year in the CHL, there was actually different rules because there was no territory in the CHL. So when I was drafted, I had to pick which league to go to. So I was speaking to Kitchener. I was speaking to guys out west. So it was a little bit different for me. And there's actually rules around it. So like when they drafted me at my age, I had to play 30 games. If not, I would have to go back into the draft.
Wow.
So there was this really weird rule because I was a Newfoundlander and I wasn't a territorial pick. So I had to play 35 games. If not, I would have been back in the draft.
That's crazy.
So it was this weird thing. So like I was automatically on the team in year one. I never should have been. To be honest, I never should have been. I played 4 games. I was a kid. I was mentally not ready for it.
Yeah.
I never should have been there. So because of that rule, I got to have the best 15, 16-year-old life playing major junior hockey when I shouldn't have been there.
Thanking the lucky stars, man. Thanking the lucky
Yeah.
stars.
But it ended up like my 17-year-old year, I got to play a little bit more, and I learned a lot very quickly. I had Pat Delaire as a goalie coach, which is skill wise or understanding the game at that point. Like he studied Patrick Roy, he developed the butterfly. So like he was so far ahead of most other goalie coaches, and he really brought my game up to be what I ended up to be as a goaltender.
So would it be safe to say you're a Canadiens fan?
No, not at all. I'm a Leafs fan, unfortunately. I know, but I grew up watching the St. John's Maple Leafs. My dad,
I suppose, yeah.
my dad wore the St. John's Maple Leafs jersey like before, so like it was in my blood, and I'm a loyal person. So I've been sad for a long time.
All right, yeah, you're off the hook. You're off the hook, then, man. We won't beat up too much on you.
Yeah.
So Roger, being from St. John's, Newfoundland, did you ever get to play against the Fog Devils?
Yes, I played against them. Hold on 1 second. I know we were not. Yes, kiddo. Yes. No problem. I had to put my kid in front of a TV. She asked if she can watch another episode.
Hey, it's all good, man. We both have kids, man. It's all good.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the Fog Devils. I got to play against them. So my 17-year-old year was their first year in the league. And I believe their last year in the league was my 19-year-old year. So I played against them. Like I played a lot in mile one. Basically, I think every time we went over there, I played. So they always gave me those games because it was my hometown. And my best friend growing up, played for the Fog Devils.
No way.
So I had this different edge when I played against them. My buddies never scored on me. Patrick O'Keefe. So out of all the games, he never scored on me, and that was like a goal of mine, just to be like, you know what, buddy, you never scored on me still, though.
Well, Patrick O'Keefe, if you're watching this,
Yeah. So you must have got up a little bit more for those games, though, wouldn't you? Being in hometown.
Yeah.
Just another game.
There was a little bit of a mental game, another mental block. Playing in a 70-game season and being a goalie, it's a very mental game.
Yep.
So the least amount of mental distractions were when I played the best. Like Drummondville, I was up there. We played 4 games in 5 nights, and you get the middle game just to rest everyone. So it's just like, hey, you're playing 17. Like, I went out and I stole a game against Longtime guys, right? So it was. I had a lot of hype getting up for those games, but I also had bad games there too. So it was more pressure. I put more pressure on myself in those situations. Actually,
everybody's gonna have a bad game, man. I mean, even the best goalies in the world have bad games.
Oh, I know.
Right. So do you still get back to the Rock?
Not as often as I'd probably want to. With work, I've gone back there last year, but it was only for like a work trip, so it wasn't much. But most of my sister's in Ontario. It's just my parents there. And my wife and all her family's here, so it's just easier for my parents to come here. So most times they just come to Nova Scotia because it's easier.
Now, did you hear the news about the QMJHL's return?
Yes, and I seen the logo and the name today, but I can't remember it.
The Newfoundland
Regiment.
There you go.
Now, how do you
logo looks fantastic?
A little bit similar, but
I agree.
How do you think Newfoundland's going to welcome them?
It's a different breed over there, so it can go. If they have a good year, they'll be supported. They have to continue to win. Really, since the Maple Leafs back in Memorial Stadium, it's never really been the same there for professional or bigger or major junior hockey. I don't know their budgets and stuff like that, but it's an expensive team to
It
run in a business side of it.
Yep.
So they really do need the support. Through all the sports and teams they've had, they always cry when they don't have it, but they never go and support the team. So
to be fair, back then the Newfoundland economy wasn't what it is now. The Newfoundland economy has grown absolutely tenfold since then, right? So
100%.
Yeah.
And I hope, yes, it's great for the city. They need something. Like, the stadium's beautiful. It's boring. It's sad to watch when there's nothing in there, right?
Yeah.
So they got to have something there.
I agree 100%.
So let's just get right to it, Roger. Give us a good story from the Moosehead days.
Oh,
There's so many.
this is a safe place, man. We won't we won't tell nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even narrow one down, but like, I played with Cormier, Swanee, Hillier, right? Like we had a great bunch of guys.
Yeah. Saunier.
Then
By the way, all three of them that were just named were on my show.
Nice.
All three of them were on here.
Right. So it's like, and then like when my first year I was there, it was like we were a stellar team. Like, we played against Crosby, like we went to the finals. Like the team was stacked.
Here's a
Brandon,
good question.
Yeah.
There's a good question for you. What was it like defending the net against Sid the Kid Crosby?
Do you think they put a 15-year-old to go out and play that game? Come on.
So you never got the shot? You never got the opportunity?
Yeah, there was times like when I was younger, because we were only 1 year in difference. Like I've crossed paths and stuff, and summer hockey's here and thing. Like I've been on the ice with them, and the kid is a year older than me, but like he's a different story.
Yeah,
he's the best ever, like in my mind.
I agree. No, you won't get no argument out of me. I mean,
right,
Dale might say Brad Marchand's the best. But...
Oh,
I know.
No. Yeah, I love Brad Marchand as a player, but come on now, I can't say that he's better than Sidney Crosby. Come on, Colin. Now.
So,
I'll give like a funny story, like kind of like bad, like So I was in a real bad parker growing up as a Moosehead, or in the times I used to always park in places I shouldn't. And like now that I'm older, and I feel really bad, but like I got a lot of parking tickets, just parking and things, and because I had a Newfoundland license plate, like they couldn't really track me. I never had it, and still today I've never paid them. Please, no one.
Roger's on the run.
He's come after me. It's been over 7 years, so I hope that they can trace it back. But I had a white Honda Civic, and I remember certain mornings that like I'd get not pulled over, but like at a road stop. And a cop being like, I know your car. Why aren't you paying your tickets?
You just put boots on it. We got boots in Halifax now. They'll just boot your car.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad it was back in 2005 when they didn't have all that stuff. So
were you the driver for the boys? So
I had obviously my first year I was the driver was Jeff McCauley, and then going back to the school was a little bit of Bill in the van. But then when I got my car, I used to drive Yuri Chmechev. I remember that for 2 years. Gab O'Connor and Eric Louis size, I think. And then Bryce Swan a lot. And Saunier. I remember I was 1 year with Saunier because we were close together.
So let us know how those road trips were on the way to the, you pick up Saunier or whoever, Swan, and you're on the way to the rink or to practice. Your typical day with the boys on the way. What would you guys get up to?
Me, Yuri, and O'Connor, like those ones, I was the older guy, so like I tried to be like more responsible.
You were the dad?
Leader role. Yeah, I played the dad role, make sure they're safe. You got everything, guys. So that's a different one. Me, Saunier, Swanee, because we were all like I was the younger one then. We'd listen to loud music. We'd party in the car type thing, be really amped up. We always would have excitement going there. There's certain albums still today, like you hear it and you just remember being in the car with those guys. And
brings you right back.
Yeah, like Panic at the Disco is just one album. Like back in the day,
that song, man. I Write Songs, No Tragedies. What a classic.
Right?
Yeah. Nothing better.
Yeah.
Is there something in the water in Newfoundland? Because we had 3 Moosehead goalies from the Rock. So is that what you guys all aspire to? Is it, because of Carey Price and Patrick Waugh?
No, I feel like if you look at the generations of years between the gaps of all of us, so that's like 85 to 89, 90, there's a lot of really good hockey players. So you had Michael Ryder, Teddy Purcell, these guys played in the NHL.
Yep.
So when you play summer hockey and you get all the best of the best in Newfoundland, it's such a small community. So you'll have 3 or 4 NHLers, 5 or 6 major junior, like all of us. So like when I went to play summer hockey, I would play with Ryder. Wednesday night skates would be with Ryder. So I would have we would all, because of that year, we all practiced together, and it created an environment of skill. Like, you know what I mean? Colin Greenan played for Toronto. Luke Adam played a bunch of different spots, played in Sweden. There's a lot of really good skill in Newfoundland at that. Like Justin Pender played with us in the Mooseheads. So like Andrew White, Team Atlantic was a stacked team of Nova Scotians and Newfoundlanders. We won bronze. We're the only Team Atlantic ever win a world champion.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we can't. I know he's a little older, but we can't run through a list of Newfoundland players without mentioning my boy Jonathan Boone.
Boone.
Yeah,
I know Booner, stellar guy. I know Justin, his brother, really well too. Booner played for the Mooseheads, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a while ago.
He's
That was
still
back
kicking
in the
around.
day.
He's in Cole Harbor here with me.
Yeah.
Running
He's
to Warren's good guy.
construction.
Yeah.
I seen him just a little while ago. So just crossed paths and I was chatting with him. Funny.
Shout out Boone, see? Shout out, buddy.
Yeah, Justin Pender's doing his best to get Newfoundland on the news, isn't he?
Oh yeah, for all the right reasons too.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what does Roger Kennedy do now? I know what you do now, but tell the fans what you're up to.
So I'm in the beverage world, brewery world, cider, consultant selling equipment. So when you step into any of the breweries and you look at those big silver tanks out back or stainless steel tanks, the salesperson and consultant for setting all those up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun industry to be in.
Do you get free, do you get to taste the product, or?
I haven't bought alcohol in a long time.
I love it. They put a new one up here by us. He's got one in hand. All right, I love it. They put
Hardesty.
Hardesty? That's that stuff.
I make the beer at Hardesty.
Oh, no way.
I consult with them, and they're one of my customers. So I've been redeveloping and helping them in their brewing process and getting everything up to snap and continuing to grow that place.
Nice, man. So do you home brew as well?
Not no more, because I brew there and I take kegs home.
I take whatever the hell I want. I'm Roger friggin' Kennedy. Give me your beer. I love it, buddy. So you obviously stayed in Halifax metro area. You're still around.
Yeah.
What was it that kept you here? What did you love about that Halifax? You're like, I'm not going back to the Rock. I got to stay here. What was it?
So after Halifax, I went in Quebec for a little bit. And then I left there because we were last place team, and I was 19 years old, and I didn't want to play there as a 20 in the last place team. So I just quit the Cukes. I was like, I had a full scholarship or like kind of a deal to go to Concordia.
Yep.
So I knew that I wasn't going to go. I wasn't planning trying to go pro. So I went to a junior A team, junior A league to try to compete for a cup. I wanted to win.
Yeah.
So I got to travel around, be with like 3 or 4 different families and like being billeted and stuff like that. And it was a great experience. Like in Shawinigan, I lived with a family that had sled dogs.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, so like I used to be able to go out in the backyard, and there was a giant like fenced area, and there was 100 dogs in there. I used to just walk in with these huskies at 19 years old, and like I think about it now, like they literally could have just
eaten you.
Yeah, like
you're chow at that point. Yeah,
like these dogs lived out, so like these were outdoor Alaskan Malamutes, like for sledding. And I used to just go hang out with them, man. Ride the sleds every so often. You can't drink and drive when you're driving a sled,
that's
right?
That's right.
So, So it was a great year in Quebec at 18 to 19 years old, and you know what I mean. You got the night off, and another one of the guys show up, and
Yeah,
he's up. Why not?
Drinking there is 18, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and this funny thing is like you don't get to drink much, right? When you're playing throughout the year, right?
No.
So when you get that one chance at like the last night before Christmas, like you kind of have a lot of fun, right?
Yeah,
And every
like,
guy. So
to be fair, the QMJHL, when you're awarded to them and you are, their responsibility, they're pretty good about keeping your schedule pretty busy with school and hockey and practice. You don't have a whole lot of time for that stuff. So it's not like the Q turns you into this drinking guy or anything like that. But yeah, I get it. When you're off and there's no hockey for the Christmas break or summer break.
End of the year party,
yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? Like,
100%. 100%. We all let loose, buddy. We all let loose.
I let loose a lot later, playing senior hockey.
So Roger, tell us about the mask sitting in front of me here on the table.
So that was when I was 17. So long story short, I love music. And that was the time and era that I was really into heavier metal, like Iron Maiden, Metallica, and obviously it's Eddie. So I was watching a lot of concerts and stuff, and of Iron Maiden. And it was like Live in Rio was a big concert they pulled off, and it was fantastic. And that's when I fell in love with the Trooper, and that was like a big jam song that I listened to throughout my 17-year-old year to get piped up and excited for the games. So when I wanted to paint and pick my helmet, that's what I decided to put Eddie on the side and do Mooseheads and Iron Maiden. So when I looked down, I always thought of the Trooper, and I wanted to be the Trooper. And then I had all green pads at that time too. So like it was like kind of like just bare bones. I was a brick wall, and that's another brick in the wall came out when I made a nice save and the song came on.
Nice.
So it's just
that's cool.
yeah.
No, it's a beautiful, beautiful mask, man. So are you still a headbanger or?
Yeah, I love headbanging. My good buddy, I like all music and the guitar. I'm a guitar player, right? So like when you see these guys rip like on those and like so fast, it's so impressive. Now, would I turn it on when my kids are around and stuff? It's really loud and she'll get so rambunctious that I probably will never be able to tame her. So I try to keep it like frozen around her.
Forget
but
that,
lately,
man. Break out the hairspray, spray her hair, get her rocking, bud.
Try to. She doesn't go to sleep till 11:30 at night. So
how old is she?
3.5.
3.5. Is that your first?
Yeah.
Congrats, man. I have 3. If you want another one, I got 1 spare I can give you here. No, I'm just kidding. I love my kids.
In all honesty, I feel like nowadays the Q is picky on probably what you're allowed to put on a helmet, and I don't know if they would allow rock bands on a helmet anymore. Do you think? In all honesty, I don't know.
I mean,
I agree. And because you mentioned that, that's probably how like tight it is. But like when I was there, like there was no like it was just whatever. Do your helmet painted. Like I'll show you my Shawinigan helmet.
Yeah, let's see it.
Experience the future of golf simulation with Spade Meshi. Discover the ultimate golf experience featuring FSX Play and GS Pro, the leaders in next-generation golf simulation software. Their system delivers stunning 4K graphics and ultra-realistic ball physics for unparalleled performance. Looking to sharpen your skills? Take advantage of their state-of-the-art putting green, swing training area, and high-tech simulators that capture every detail of your ball and club data. When it's time to unwind, grab a drink and relax in their comfortable lounge area. Watch the game, maybe even head to the dart room, or simply enjoy a breathtaking view of Halifax Harbor. Spade Meshi, where technology meets tradition for the love of the game. Visit them today and elevate your golf experience.
Come check us out. You knocked me dead, but on my feet.
Oh, Dale's thinking, I didn't know he had a Shawinigan helmet.
Because a goalie for Kitchener Rangers tried to do a Sons of Anarchy, and the OHL kiboshed it.
Oh, get out. I didn't know that. All right, let's see it.
So this thing here was a Moosehead helmet, or like painted as one.
Oh, that's where the other one went. Jeez.
Yeah, that's the one that you're probably thinking of. It is this helmet that was painted over. So when I left Mooseheads was a bad thing. Like I was heartbroken because I was there, put everything in there. They brought in another goalie, didn't believe in me, so I was like,
The
I'm done and
business
gone.
side sucks, man. The business side really does suck.
Exactly right. So I got it's a cataract. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's shooting a bow and arrow, and he's killing a moose head
No way!
right between the eyes.
Oh my
Oh, that's right. You did
God.
something with that. I do remember that. Yeah.
I'm not throwing any shade, but that's a whole new level of petty, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
my goodness.
I told the artist, geez, I forget his name now, but he's done like a lot of the NHLer helmets. He done Price now. Like he actually played for Shawinigan, and he was only like starting to paint helmets. And I told him, I said, yeah, just do something like this and get creative and have fun with it. He died. He
Oh
thought it
my
was the
God.
funniest thing in the world, and he was so excited to paint it.
I absolutely love that story. This is probably got to be the clip that I use for the teaser short that I put on YouTube because I absolutely love that. That's a wicked clip, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I love the association. I was a kid when I made that decision. I was not like there's such like Cam and even Bobby Smith. I know he's not there now.
No.
Like they did so well with the team and they had it. Like
Yeah. And I
Cam
get
is
it. I get it. Like I said, the business side of it sucks. And, you know, we got to remember sometimes that, you know, for the most part, you fellas are kids. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's going to feel like you're not wanted at times and, you know, you're not good enough. It sucks, man. And trust us, the fans, the real fans that have a heart for this team really do feel bad for you boys. Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Right? But you get
It's
so
nature of
much
the
out of
beast.
it. Yeah. But you get
You
so
do.
much out of it, man. Like, it's
Still today, it's a factor of my life. And it's 15 years, 20 years later. I don't remember exactly. Like it's still I wouldn't have the job I had today if you really connect the dots of how I met people.
Yeah.
To the jobs I had throughout my career were from billets of
Yeah.
Mooseheads that help and direct or like give a reference. So
that's actually our next question. And what were your billets like? Explain
Greg,
to us your family away from
amazing.
home. Oh yeah.
They took me in like they were my second family. Even I think it was my 18-year-old year. I stayed during the summer, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't care." And like they get paid, they eat like the food, but like they let me stay, like no question about it. When I wanted to move back to Nova Scotia after my travels and moving back to Newfoundland, I called my billet who owned a real estate company and asked, "Can I come be a realtor or a broker at your firm or your business?" And he took me on, no problem, and we worked together for the first year that I moved back here, and still today I keep in touch with them.
That's amazing, man. I absolutely love hearing that because the QMJHL, the Mooseheads organization, do an absolutely stellar job of getting the safest, most compassionate billets for our boys. Shout out, like they really do a great job of finding good people for billets.
There's a lot of good support here too for the team.
True.
It's the most supported. I've never seen a city wear so much merchandise for a team when I walk around, and like I was out swimming and someone recognized me and said like, "Oh, hey, that's right." Like, dude, it's 20 years later, 15 years, and like that support and people who love the team here, like it's amazing.
So why do you think that the fans of Halifax are so passionate about hockey here?
The history of it that's in your basement. When you told me all that stories about how we went back to all those things, I have no idea why, but it's here.
It's true though. I mean, hockey was big here in the '70s, and it just kind of, it kept climbing and climbing. And junior hockey was always big here in the '60s, which a lot of young fans nowadays probably don't realize. But that older generation, when the Mooseheads came, they probably remembered, that era of hockey. And because we don't have an NHL franchise or an AHL team anymore, the Q is our go-to. And I mean, we treat these kids like they're NHL level players
Well,
as far as
I think,
No?
and not to get on a whole discussion over this, that's more of like for our weekly recaps and when the fans call in. But I got to give it up to the Mooseheads organization for that too. Is Adam Lund from Wildcats podcast says we have this ability, this inept ability to demand going to the Mooseheads games is an experience. And what I mean by that, like even back in 96, 97, the days of Mike Howie with the trumpet, it's a show. The organization has
they've always at the entertainment level.
100%, man.
You don't just go to watch a hockey game; it's a whole experience.
Yeah.
And right from the opening season, they always made it interactive for the fans, and that's where you get people is the interactive experience and the entertainment value.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible the show they put off actually, and the community involvement. Like I remember we were always at hospitals, schools, and the people organized it, made it exciting for us to want to go too.
I
So
love
it was
that.
like, you know what I mean? And like we're kids, so like we don't want to do that at 15, 16 years old. We don't see or understand what we're doing unless we're the more mature one. But like a lot of them aren't, and they made it fun. Like Shannon Slaughter was fantastic with making it a fun group activity. And I can't remember who the other one was involved with it before that. I forget her name, but it was always fun. We made it fun.
Yeah,
Because you did a lot of help with the community involvement.
Yeah, I was heavily involved with it for my first year, not so much, but 17 and 18, big time. I won the Quebec Community Junior Humanitarian Award when I was 18.
That's awesome,
So,
man.
yeah, I did a lot.
That's a fantastic award to win.
We have I know it's not the same thing, but we have an award on the channel where once a year we give what's called the Community Player of the Year award. It's from the channel. We get some sponsors, and last year was Braden McPhee, and this year's award will be given out on the 7th. So I can't say who it is, but we do have somebody in mind for that, and they'll get a few $100s worth of benefits for doing it. So we appreciate it, and we want the boys to know that hockey's secondary, community is first.
Yeah,
1,000,000%, man. Yeah. So it's been, you said, 15, 20 years. With the exception of the no fighting rule change, which you would have had nothing to do with anyway for the most part as a goalie. How do you feel the sport's changed since your time in the league?
It's changed. Actually, I had a couple of fights in the queue.
No way, did you?
Hey,
Okay, well, why haven't we talked about that?
I had two in Shawinigan, and they were actually back-to-back games.
That wasn't a goalie fight?
Yeah, both times.
No way.
The first one, I got beat up. Second one, I got in a fight. The other guy was 17 or 16, and I was 19. I did not want to fight him, but he skated all the way down to my crease.
You can't disappoint him. He wants to fight.
I'm not going to let him punch me.
No, exactly, right?
Unfortunately. And then in junior hockey, in junior A, in 19 and 20, I had, I think, 3 fights.
Get out.
Yeah.
I've been a passionate Moosehead fan my whole life, but I've never gone to every game to the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Is when I really started getting into it, and I'm yet to see a goalie fight in person, man.
Yeah, I've been in 5, I think. Like I think I have one senior too.
Get out, man. That's incredible.
What's your professional record?
I lost one. The first fight is the only one I lost. Yeah.
Nice.
I never received a punch after.
Yeah, you learn the taste of losing and not doing this shit again.
Well, I went left-handed in the first fight, and I'm righty, and the guy was lefty, and I got 2 smacks in with my left hand, but I tried to switch.
It's your left hand, right? Yeah.
And I tried to switch to be like, I'll get you with my right and take you down. And when I switched, I opened. Oh, it was smack. I had a giant egg on my forehead. Like he got me good.
Lesson learned.
That one's on YouTube.
No, I looked for a bunch of stuff before the interview on YouTube. I couldn't find it anywheres.
If you do Roger Kennedy goalie fight, it'll come up.
I will check it out, and if I can't find it, you're going to have to send me the link. Because I'm going to actually you'll know it because it'll be in the beginning of this video.
Cool.
So you'll know if I found it.
Got his intro. We just got his intro.
Yeah, that's my intro, man. And I'll put it with some Iron Maiden song in the background.
Yeah.
Brick wall.
So Roger, for the young kids thinking about playing goalie now, what advice would you give them?
Run.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Stay away. Man, they're so good now. The shooters are so good.
The padding's a lot better, though.
They're hitting a wrist shot 85 miles an hour now. Like, I remember facing Chad Denny, who shot 120 miles. I'm like, that was a slap. That was heavy as old hell. But they're doing it now off a wrist shot, and it's like, it's a different shot. Matthews and Bedard, like, they have a different shot. Like that, they're bringing their arms across, so it's harder to identify.
Yep.
The position.
It's science now.
It's all science. Injury, hip, knee, just the way you're playing now. Like, my knee is ruined, right? And I'm 36 years old, and like, I get pain in my knee.
You got to talk to Chris Payton.
Right.
Chris Payton was on our first team, and that's what he deals with now is medical, sports medical.
Yeah, I'd love to. I love to have him look at my knee. It's just some days I just stand up and like, man, that hurts.
It just hurts to stand up. You're 30, not 38?
36. I'm not even
Oh
old
my
yet.
God, man. Oh my God, you're falling apart. 36. I feel bad.
Right, and I'm not huge or anything. I'm not like I gained a bunch of weight and I have like that. It's just my ligaments. It's like I just feel it just moving apart all the time.
The game is hard. Yeah, people don't realize how hard the game is on your body. I mean, it takes a physical toll.
Even as a goalie, because for the most part, you're just standing there.
We're just standing there. Yeah, good one.
That's good. No. That means more than you think it does. Just standing there, unable to move, is seriously bad for your knees and back, man.
Yeah, but there's so much, as Roger will tell you, there's so much side to side, right, Roger? I mean, you're going side to side, post to post. I mean, that's where the knees come into play.
When you do a T push and you take your ankle like this, and he does that, it makes your joints and it snaps, right? So your hip, like that's what Price got done. In certain hips, it goes bone to bone, and then eventually you have no cartilage, and then it's just like, well,
fused together, man.
It's gone, right? So it's really hard on the body.
So
like, and I see certain goalies like doing these splits, and like I'm like, holy crap! Like, how?
So you cringe when you're watching hockey, eh?
No, certain goalies, like I'm like, I feel the hips, but I don't like hockey as much as I used to. I do miss fighting. I do feel like that there should not fighting as like get two fighters. They go out and they just and that's all they do. But if there's a dirty play, you need to answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the problem with that rule is there's no policing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there used to be a self-policing, like, kind of like it was a part of the game. There was a respect, like asset or like a respect angle to it or something. Like it was just different. There's like, if you were screwing around, well, you know what, that shithead guy on the third line is gonna be on your ass and driving into the boards every play.
Brian Lovell's going to be right behind you. Yeah, 100%.
No matter what. Like, I'm not saying he's going to dirty or cross-check you or slash you back of the head, but he's going to be on you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you can't just do that and then have an easy night.
Yeah. Like, you get 2 minutes in the box and you're back out now. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Right? So, and if it gets so bad, well, you fight.
Yeah. now, that's not to say they're still fighting, and if somebody did something that bad, there'd still be a fight. They would just have consequences because of it, right? What do you say to people who say the goalies are a special breed?
That's 100% true.
It's 100% true. I'm screwed.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, and there's no goalie that I know that's
normal.
No.
That was the word. Yeah.
I love it.
There's an odd angle on every one of us.
I love it, man. We wouldn't have it any other way, man. True honesty, like that's why you guys are loved so damn much, right?
Well, yeah. Like, who wants to stand in front of a 100-mile-an-hour piece of rubber that you can barely see when it's going that fast?
Yeah, and it hurts. It's cold.
Oh, it hurts.
It hurts when you get it thrown like gently at you and it hits the finger wrong, man.
Like in your glove in the middle, there's no padding because it's where it folds.
Yeah.
That puck hits there sometimes.
Oh, man, it hurts.
Yeah. Like up around here, like I have like just scars or from impact from a puck hitting it. It just makes your skin just go pop. Right.
Jeez, man.
And so you take out your jersey and you're just full of blood and you just lift it up and there's just like this giant
Get out.
like,
I never
open
even thought of
wound.
that. Oh, Dale is having a seizure on the screen.
What?
Oh,
I'm
there
fine.
you go. You're fine.
You're good.
I'm good.
I'm leaving that in because that was funny as hell.
That was the goalie thing, was it?
Yeah, that was the only thing. And then you snap to it like, what? I'm fine.
I don't know what happened.
All right, last question, Roger. You're gracious enough. You gave us a bunch of time here, man. I really, truly do appreciate it. But is there anything you would like to say? I know you have some hard feelings about the trade, but is there anything you'd like to say to the organization, the fans, the players from yesterday, today, and tomorrow for your time with the Mooseheads? Go.
Thank you. It's an incredible experience. It's a privilege to be able to wear that jersey. And for anyone who's playing right now, take it in and remember it, because it's like, and a lot of times you think you're going to go pro or go do something, and it's really hard. So it's truly an amazing time for all those kids to go play in that organization, and it's a truly very professional organization. So it's not like playing in a lot of other teams. It truly is professional. One other thing I'll mention, I do own this company called Candy Jalapeno Company.
What?
Oh, so if you want to buy some candy jalapenos, go to Sobeys and pick them up. They're
You can
delicious.
actually buy them at Sobeys. I will check it out.
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't
hard
know
to see
that.
too. So yeah,
Well,
it's a little side thing. So.
All right, you were a real beaut, man. I honestly appreciate your time, Dale. Thanks for reaching out to Roger and making the link and having him come on our show. That was Roger Kennedy. Hope you're all healthy, safe, and happy out there. And as always, go Moose, go.